qu'on allait prendre la route de l'aventure? Ah, monsieur le président, un pauvre qui vote ou celui qui l'a rendu pauvre. Si on était bien au pays, est-ce qu'on allait prendre la route de l'étranger? Ah, monsieur le président, à l'Assemblée, il y a un vieux. Vraiment. Au Sénat, il y a un vieux. Wonderful. À la présidence, il y a un vieux. Dans tout le gouvernement, il n'y a que des vieux, des vieux, des vieux, des vieux.
Hi, good day to the people of the Cameroons. My greetings to the beautiful people of British Cameroon and the beautiful people of La République du Cameroon. Today I've come to talk about why there is no opposition political party in the Cameroons. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a party political broadcast by myself, Maître Moulin Alex Ndiveli Singer, the leader of British Cameroon National Party. I understand the topic is very controversial, but I will start by telling you or saying that the fact that we say there are opposition political parties in the Cameroon, we don't understand if they have a role and duty. The fact that there is a car without a steering, without petrol, without four wheels, they call it a car, but is the car functionable? Can that car move? If it cannot move, it's just a car in theory. So ladies and gentlemen, permit me, by looking at Article 3 of the Constitution of La République du Cameroon. What do the Constitution of La République du Cameroon says about opposition? Let me read. Political parties and groups shall help the electorate in the making of voting decision. Political parties and groups. Who are groups? The Constitution doesn't define it. They will help the electorate in making of voting decision. It is vague. They shall be bound to respect the principle of democracy, national sovereignty, and unity. Vague. It is ridiculous. Loud sounding nothing words. What are the principles of democracy? Liberty, equality, and justice. Are the people of the Cameroons, are they free to speak their mind? No. Do we have justice in the Cameroons? No. Do we have equality in the Cameroons? No. Man, no man. That's what is happening in Cameroon. No equality. You see places, nepotism, nepotism. Look at all the ministers in Cameroon or people on top position. It's about nepotism. No equality. If you don't know somebody up there, nothing can happen. So, when the Constitution of La République du Cameroon says opposition, they are bound to respect the principle of democracy, national sovereignty, and unity. There is no democracy in the Cameroons. There is no democracy. So that's what the Constitution is talking about. Let's look again. It says national sovereignty. When President Amadou Ahidjo signed the French Cooperation Agreement in 1959, by then, they were not an independent country and British Cameroon too was not an independent country. They signed the Cooperation Agreement. France is going to make your money. France is going to determine the economic, socio-cultural orientation of the people in La République du Cameroon. France manufacture your money, the resources of France, they have to introduce it first to France. All those things, military-wise, they will support La République. That was giving away your sovereignty. So when they say people must be bound by sovereignty, how can you be bound by something that's not existing? Democracy is not existing. National sovereignty is not existing. Then they say they must be bound by unity. My dear people of the Cameroons, We love to use this word unity. Unity is a word used by dictators because unity is a word. If I want unity, let me say in my house, let me say I have 5 children. I say, oh, I want unity. Everybody come together. What do you want to eat? This one say ekwang, this one say okra, this one say mpem, this one say bitter leaf, this one say I go to the market, I buy those things, I bring it. That is unity. But when you say everybody must eat fufu corn, that's not unity. So when we talk about unity in Cameroon, what do we talk about? So there can never be unity in the Cameroons because we are different. We have about 250 ethnicities. They have to be practicing their custom and tradition in order to bring unity. We have 2 inherited culture in the Cameroons. French La République have to be using their institution in La République du Cameroon and English institution in French Cameroon. That is unity. But when you start imposing, integrating, you cannot be talking about unity. So this constitution, they are just playing to the gallery. It's a window dressing exercise. They shall be formed and shall exercise activities in accordance with the law. They shall be formed. Okay, when they form it, they exercise their activities in accordance to the law. Who is the law? Mr. Bia, personification of politics. Why is it that the functions, the duties, and the jobs of the opposition is not in the constitution? Why? Because they put it in the hands of people. So, to be honest, if you look at the constitution of the Cameroons, Article 3, the opposition political party, they have no role. I remember, is it in 2020, I met President Alassane Ouattara of Ivory Coast in London. He told me that he was going to make sure that they put the constitution, they formalize the constitution and put the duties of the opposition in their constitution of Ivory Coast. I haven't checked. Because if you don't have that formal duties, then you're just existing like an opposition. One of the reasons that inspired me to create British Cameroon National Party is because I've looked at seasoned civil servant politicians like Bello Buba, Daikole, Daisala, my lecturer Maurice Kamto, all of them. I've looked including late John Fundi. They just say they are leader of opposition, but they don't have a role, a constitutional role. In most democracies, there have to be a function, a constitutional function of an opposition. Do they have it in the Cameroons? No. That's why when they want to speak, they torture them because they don't have a constitutional role. And no opposition political party have ever come and said, let's have a constituent assembly. Let's change the constitution and let's put our role there. All the roles are defined. But none of them, they don't say it. Generally speaking, what is an opposition? An opposition is the second largest party in parliament, the second largest. In terms of the Cameroons, if I want to look at it, the second largest party in the Cameroon is what? Most people, they don't know. It's UNDP, Bello Buba's party. The CPDM have got 152 seats in their National Assembly in the Cameroons. The second party, largest party, is what? The UNDP with 7 seats. Taking into consideration, UNDP is in a coalition government with the CPDM. So CPDM have got 59 seats if you take into consideration the 7 seats of UNDP. So out of 180, CNU have 159 seats. So you can imagine, it tells you that there is no opposition. Okay, taking into consideration that UNDP is part of the government now. You look at the second opposition political party, which is what? The SDF have got 5 seats. PCRN have got 5 seats. UDC have got 5 seats. MDR have got 2 seats. FSNC have got 3 seats. And UMS have got 2 seats. FMSN have got 3 seats rather. So you expect that, taking into consideration that Bello Buba is in a coalition government with the CPDM, SDF, PCRN with 5 votes, UDC with 5 votes, they will come together as a bloc in order to scrutinize and hold the government into account, but they don't. But as I speak, I tell you, it is a fact. The SDF is part of the CPDM. I know it for a fact. Ever since when late chairman was still alive. Forget, there are no opposition in the Cameroons. Again, even if they had that opposition power, the fact that the CPDM have got absolute majority, they are useless. Because any laws that the CPDM wants to pass, it will go through without any opposition. They don't have the numbers. That's why most people sometimes, when you ask them, what is the job of a government? A lot of people, some of them, they send me private messages. Oh, Maitre Mola Alex Singer, is there nothing good that you can say about the government? I am an opposition. Opposition doesn't come and say something good about the government. Opposition doesn't. You have to shadow the government. In a real opposition, you have a shadow cabinet. You develop alternative policy. You scrutinize the activities of the government, each government department. Like you go to Ministry of Finance, you scrutinize education, higher education, all the ministries. That is a job of an opposition. But the opposition in the Cameroon, they only wait for 7 years for election. You scrutinize the policy of the government on a daily basis. In the UK, the opposition, the constitutional role of the opposition was formalized in the 1930s. They formalized opposition. Because opposition doesn't mean you are an opposition in name. With a statutory recognition of the leader of opposition. When they say, I said you were recognized statutory by the law. And they awarded them a salary. They paid them. Because they are official opposition. They have a duty to be challenging the government the way British Cameroon National Party is doing every day. The role of the opposition is to oppose the government. Opposition, there should be an alternative government in waiting. You expect to scrutinize government policies. How many of them in opposition? How many of them every day? They come like British Cameroon National Party scrutinizing what the government is doing on a daily basis. You question the government. You sit in committee, chair committees. And opposition should see itself as a government in waiting. But unfortunately, in the Cameroons, there is no opposition. Opposition should have an official role. If they go to parliament, they should recognize you, they should pay you. But the mistake a lot of people have been doing in the Cameroons, they focus on the presidency. If you want to get into government, you have to start focusing on local council, parliamentary seats. If you look at the presidential election, Mr. Biya is having 70-something. The next person is coming with 14%, 1%. Then they say they want to remove him. If we don't have a constitutional change and make statutory instrument to formalize and recognize opposition, they only exist in theory. If we have a country that we don't have an independent judiciary, like I saw a secular Minister Atanganji said he has maybe banned, is it this Alice Kwam human rights organization in the whole territory. Those are things that if we have an independent judiciary, we'll take it to the court. A court will make a decision about it. An unelected person like Atanganji, nobody elected Atanganji. He was appointed by President Paul Biya. So Atanganji cannot represent us. An unelected minister cannot represent you. All the ministers, 99% in the United Kingdom of America, they have one way or another, they have elected them in some form. But in the Cameroons, you have members of parliament, you have senators in their so-called fake election, which they are better. Then you take people that nobody have elected them. They say they are ministers. The Prime Minister of UK was elected. The Chancellor was elected. Secretary for Education elected. Health Secretary elected. All the ministers, nearly all. The Prime Minister can maybe elect one or two, put some people there who were not elected, like former Foreign Secretary was there, David Cameron. But at least David Cameron had been an MP before. So ladies and gentlemen, when we see it, people come and say, oh, we are opposition leader. No, opposition leader need to be formalized. It has to be in the constitution. There's nothing in the constitution like that. They are only giving them order. They have to be bound by democratic principle, national sovereignty, and unity. Loud sounding words. One, we are in CEMAC. We don't have national sovereignty. You cannot be in CEMAC, in an organization that have taken away the presidency, the ministers and everything. We have joint sovereignty. La Republic have joint sovereignty. After they annex British Cameroons, they have taken them to an organization which is undemocratic. Mr. Macron is the president of the Cameroons. France Afrique, you saw him. He went to Chad and installed a president. And Mr. Biya supported a dictator in Chad. President Paul Biya of the Cameroon supported a dictator, a person who was not elected. That is why, as a leader of British Cameroon National Party, I hate that word when they say transitional government. When you listen to any leader in Africa say transitional government, no, they want to implant their dictatorship. Look at Chad. The president, when he came, he says transitional. Now he has installed himself life president, an autocrat, an emperor. In America, when the America they got their independence from Britain, George Washington and co, they did not say, oh, transitional government. They called a conference in Philadelphia, drafted a free and fair constitution. And George Washington was elected, maybe he had one or two terms. After that, handed it to another person. There is no transition in a democracy. If you're genuine, you want change in the country, if you are in power, call for a constituent assembly. If any African leader in the Francophonie, if you don't talk about stopping France CFA, you are fake. It means you are in France's pocket. If you don't talk about stopping France controlling our economy, it means you are fake. I've seen a lot of people, they say they are presidential candidates. None of them, they don't talk about France CFA. They are all in Mr. Macron's pocket. If anybody comes tomorrow, he takes over from Mr. Biya, they will use their gendarme on you. They will use B on you until we sit. All of us, we draft a constitution without any fear or favor. That the opposition, they will be recognized. That the government function will be defined. That the judiciary will be defined. Nothing will change. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look even the system, the regional system in the Cameroons or whatsoever, opposition, they don't talk about it. A place like South, where Mr. Biya come from, they have about, 10 MP. Then you see a population which is more than how many? 2 million. They don't have up to that MP. So how do they decide on those members of parliament? These are things that opposition, they have to scrutinize and talk about every day. Since 1992, since the reintroduction of multipartyism, what have the opposition been doing? Nothing. They go behind. They take money from the government. That's what they do. People have been locked up in Kondenge because of their political opinion. Article 65 of the Constitution of La République du Cameroun say you are entitled to your right of, to your opinion. So, in the Cameroons, if you say you want independence, it is your political opinion. There is nothing wrong with that. There is no democracy in the Western world that you don't have people who want independence. If you say people should not talk about independence, it means you're infringing on their democratic right. If you have a right to talk about one and indivisible Cameroons, people to have a right to talk about independence. When Mr. Biya seceded in 1984, by going back to La République du Cameroun, Mr. Biya separated the country. But the fun is, you have separated the country, you still want the resources. you're still keeping on us there. That's annexation. Once that you went back to La République du Cameroun, that is your country of 1st January 1960. Mr. Biya seceded. Anglophones are not secessionists. CPDM, chop people the money, they seceded from the Anglophones. They don't want the people in that geographical location, British Cameroon, but they want their resources. Tell me, ladies and gentlemen, why would any one person want power in his hands? Example, I'll give you this example. If I'm in my house, I have 5 kids. Why do I want to wash the plate, clean the living room, fix the bed, do this, clean the toilet? Why can I not say, oh, my wife, you do the bedroom, I'll do the living room. Children, you should clean the plate, the kitchen, blah, blah, blah. It makes it easier. That's how you run the country. But Mr. Biya have personalized the Cameroons. And Mr. Macron, they keep on using fake opposition in Africa for us. They will say, oh, because they don't want French military anymore. Oh, Chad, they don't want French military anymore. What has military got to do? Britain have got military in Germany. America have got military in the United. It doesn't do anything if it's good faith. Stop using France CFA. Kamto, Bello Buba, Mr. Biya, all the opposition, so-called opposition leader in the Cameroon, I want to have that debate with France CFA. The day we come out from France CFA, France will no longer be setting our interest rate, our monetary policy, and they will not control our economy. If any leader doesn't come and talk about France CFA, know that they are fake. If they enter there, they will just change personality. Nothing will change. And this year, 2025, I'm telling you, something will happen. Something will happen. Allow CNU, CPDM to win. Let them win the election. But I'll see how they will rule this year. Something will happen. The power, the almighty power is saying something. You can fool some people sometimes, but you cannot fool all the people all the times. When you're in government, to be honest, I'm even sick of this word they call democracy in Africa. I'm sick. I even prefer us to have Arab dictators. Let them develop our country. I want economic development. If you're in power, whether there's no election for 50 years, we have electricity, we have water, we have all those things. Democracy does not develop a country. Britain, United Kingdom was developed by dictators. Belgium, Congo was developed by dictators. All European countries, they were developed by dictators. Democracy does not develop a country. Democracy is just to make sure you hold people accountable. You checks and balances. That's democracy. But in the Cameroons, they have elections, yes. Do you check Mr. Biya? Can you call Mr. Biya and ask him, what about COVID? What about Olembege? What about this embezzlement? What about, you can ask. So what's the essence of democracy? Democracy is not just about election. Hitler was elected. Hitler was a dictator. They elected Hitler. Democracy is more than just elections. It's checks and balances. Independent judiciary. Democracy is more than that. If they keep on electing you, we don't know what you're doing. You have never had a manifesto, CPDM, former CNU party. You have never had a manifesto since 1960. Or you can politics of personality call. Destroy our country. Christmas Day, no light, no electricity. I have no problem with this. What British Cameroon National Party stands for. Our policies, first policy, it is clear. French institution must be used in French Cameroon. An English institution in English Cameroon. Scotland is in the United Kingdom. They have their own money. Are they not united? They are still United Kingdom. Scotland have got its own football team. They are still United Kingdom. Scotland have got different laws, criminal laws and what in the United Kingdom. They are still United Kingdom. Irish, Northern Ireland have got a different parliament. They are still United Kingdom. They are Irish. They have got different parliament. They have different things. In the Cameroons, we need ethno-cultural democracy. All their ethnicity, they must be autonomous. Then we respect the two countries that was created with their institution. I asked my fellow brothers and sisters in La République du Cameroon, if Anglophone, they were imposing their institution on you, how will you feel? I'm calling on you, Francophone. It is simple. I don't want to hear about federalism. It's not important. These things are just words. Federalism means transfer of power. Decentralization means transfer of power. What we want, my dear brothers and sisters, we are not against you to use your ENAM that you got from France, your France CFA, your École Normale Supérieure, your Gendarmerie, your military tribunal, your form of government that you're using, and be under France. Allow us to do our own things too. If we want to be under England too, allow us to be. It's about equality. It's about justice. It's about liberty. That's what I'm talking about. What is good for La République du Cameroun is good too for British Cameroonians. So sometimes I'm talking about fairness, justice, equality. If you want to force us to use one system that is unity, it's not unity. You have 4 countries in the United Kingdom. They are using different systems because Scottish man is a Scottish man. An Englishman is an Englishman. A Welshman is a Welshman. An Irishman is an Irishman. That is how you bring unity in a country, my brothers and sisters. It is not about one size fits all, as Mr. Bia and his La République people they want us to know. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a party political broadcast by myself, Maitre Mola Alex Ndivel Lisinge, the leader of the only genuine opposition political party in the Cameroons. Have a great day. Thank you very much.